Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Skyrim Plus. Today we're featuring Hjertesten Hall by Dovahkiinathay. But this isn't just a player home. During this video, we will reveal the backstory of the estate, show several options for how to acquire the property, demonstrate how you recruit allies to work for you and live with you, show you who you can recruit, we'll tour the property, we'll have our wedding on the property too. This will be a long one, so pause here to grab a blanket and a cup of coffee and enjoy the show. Let's check out the map. Here we are at Hjertesten Hall. We're near the Heartwood Mill, Riften, and here we are again at Hjertesten Hall. But that's not where our story begins. We're actually traveling through Ivarstead when we have a chance encounter with a guard.
If you're looking for a homestead outside the walls of Riften, I'd suggest you to take a look at Hjertesten Hall. It's just east of Ivarstead.
After the conversation, we check our quest journal, which suggests that we travel to Ivarstead to learn more about Hjertesten. So we head to the Villamere Inn to speak with the innkeeper Wilhelm. When we ask him about properties for sale, he tells us all about Hjertesten Hall. We learn that the former owner of the estate, Lord Asgeld, passed away, and that his son, Him, is a money-hungry jerk that kicked out all of the workers from the property so that he could sell the property immediately. He tells us that the former steward of the property, Torben, had a plan to restore the place and let all of the residents come back, but he's turned up missing. He also tells us that Sibby Blackbriar had planned to buy it before he got sent to jail. We thank him for the information, and he asks you to let him know if you find out anything about Torben. After speaking with the guard and Wilhelm, we discover two new map markers, Torben's boat and Hjertesten Hall. Since we're curious about Torben's whereabouts, let's start there. When we arrive, we find Torben's journal, which confirms much of what Wilhelm told us. Torben worries about him kicking out the residents and wasting the estate on chasing women. Lord Asgeld told Torben that he didn't want his son, Him, to inherit the estate, so he hid a fortune equal to the worth of the estate in a cave. He told Torben to use that money to buy the estate from him, and left a treasure map where X marks the spot. At this point, the quest can unfold several different ways, which is kind of the beauty of this mod. But the first way we are going to try is finding the treasure and buying the property. To find where X marks the spot, we need to head towards the property and look for the windmill tower, and then look for the cave opening. When you enter, you better get over your arachnophobia because there are some frostbite spiders you'll need to exterminate. After you finish, you'll discover a body. Unfortunately, it's the former steward Torben. He didn't make it. I guess he should have brought more than just that steel axe. Luckily for us, we find a pull handle which leads us to the treasure. The chest is to the right and it has 50k gold, and you can pick up all of the gold piles and jewels too. Next, we head to the front of Hjertesten Hall to find the sun and buy the property. You'll be met by a guard.
You don't exactly scream potential buyer to me. What's your business here?
When you state your intentions to buy the place, he's kind of a jerk, but he'll ultimately lead you to the Lord's son, Hem. As advertised, Hem's a jerk too, but when you offer him the money, he's ready to let you buy Hjertesten. Afterwards, he and his guard leave the property and you're left with the key. Other ways you can buy the property are skipping the quest and paying for it with your own money. You can also work as a guard on the estate and live in a farmhouse, earning 300 septims per week, but that seems like a slow burn. You can re-meet the guard in the cave before you get the treasure and fight him to the death for it. You can agree to split the money with the guard and pay for half of it yourself, not to battle to the death. Or you could use the guard's plan B, where you buy the house from the son, Hem, but then he kills him and takes the money, while you take the key. Or the last way is you can just kill both of them, take the key, and keep the treasure. If you do this, you'll also find a note that shows that the former steward, Torben, was the illegitimate son of Lord Asgeld. No matter your choice, you need the key. Having the key in your inventory allows you to recruit followers to fill different jobs around your property. Next, we'll discuss the different positions you can hire and what they can do. Steward. The steward is the most functional employee. They can give you an income every Morndas.
Gold solves most problems, doesn't it?
Prepare your ship to travel to Ivarstead or Riften. Call your warriors to you. He can prepare a grand feast for all of your workers, which takes place at 8 p.m. And if you want to set the tables of food yourself, you can click here to set it for dinner. You can click this side to activate a breakfast setup. And you can click under this table to set up a feast if you've paid for it. And if you want your feast to look more impressive, go click near the dresser by the right back stairwell to get a cool bone chandelier. You can buy a new horse from him for 1,000 septims. He can also do a bunch of renovations to the home, but we're going to show you those after the home tour. The steward's assistant and housecarl can perform similar tasks to the steward, just less options. A barkeep can be hired to run the tavern. You can hire a priest to maintain your Temple of Mara. You can hire an alchemist who can sell you different ingredients and potions. Next, you can hire a blacksmith to make armor for you, be a vendor, and change the shrine in the back garden. You can hire a farmer that tends to the garden, and you can retrieve harvests from them. If you have a worker with a family, like my farmer has, you can invite them to move in too. You can hire up to 8 warriors that you can take on missions around Skyrim and bring you things like meat and pelts. If you upgrade your home's wall, you can hire up to 12 guards to patrol your gates. You can even hire a bard. You just need to make sure to download Ty's Bards for Skyrim. This allows you to recruit any of the vanilla bards to come and play at your custom player home. The mod also adds new bards to various locations that are also recruitable. You can also invite guests that you're friendly with to your property, and make sure to check up on them. You can also send people to jail on your property, and you can adopt up to 6 children to stay with you. Now that you know about the different positions, let's show you how to recruit them. Any player that you gain favor with can be a potential recruit. Ways to gain favor are completing quests for them, giving them a drink if they're a drunk, giving them a septim if they're homeless, and brawling and winning. And of course, any follower you have can join you too. Now we're going to show you how to recruit someone that you're friendly with. First, initiate conversation and say, "About Hjertesten."
You're not from around here. Of course.
Now select, "Would you like to work and live with me?"
Of course, my friend. What kind of work are we talking about?
Once they say yes, choose a suitable role for them. They'll say something about it.
Taking on a role of a steward's assistant is a challenge I'm ready for. Let's discuss the details about what you expect of me.
Offer them 150 gold for moving expenses. It's fine because their work generates income for you.
You've done well.
Now we're going to show you how to use console commands to change someone's mind if they don't want to work for you.
Huh? What do you want?
About Hjertesten.
Of course.
Would you like to work and live at one of the residences?
Indeed, I miss them, but I know they understand I left for their own good. I hope to see them soon.
That's a lame excuse you get when you haven't done someone's quest yet, so we're going to change his mind. First, enter the console. Now, click on him. The number by his chest is his ID number. We'll need that in a moment. Now, we'll type in player.set_relationship_rank space. Now we're going to type in that ID number that's on his chest, then space, and then 3, and then enter. Now we're friends. Let's try again.
Good day, friend. Keeping well?
See, his demeanor's already better.
Of course.
Oh, now he wants to work.
Of course, my friend. What kind of work are we talking about?
Let's go with the steward's assistant.
Taking on the role of a steward's assistant is a challenge I'm ready for. Let's discuss the details about what you expect of me.
We got him.
Pleasure doing business with you, partner.
Now that you know about all of the people and what they can do, let's see where all of you will live. We'll start our tour on the road from Riften towards Iverstead. On the left is the entrance to Hjertesten, but before we go inside, I want to show you the stone fence that's around the property. We'll be upgrading this later, but I wanted to show you this for reference. Now we're ready to head inside. And look at all of those luscious, colorful tree leaves. Amazing, right? The Rift is such an inspiring place to call home. Now we're going to tour each of the buildings, starting with our Alchemist's home. As we enter, you'll probably notice the flooring. Here's the mod for that. If you don't have it, it'll be generic Riften flooring, but I really like how this spices things up. Alright, it looks like we have a fire and a cooking pot for your alchemist, along with an oven, some harvestable ingredients, and a little bar area. As we round the corner, we've got the Alchemist's Alchemy Lab. They kind of need that. And you can buy ingredients from your alchemist too, so that's something to look forward to. Up the stairs there's a bedroom area. They have a double bed, so if they have a husband or a wife, they can come live with them too. There are plenty of storage containers for their things. Now that we've seen where the alchemist lives, let's see where the others live. And when we head outside, we take a short walk on the path to your steward's house. His home is actually connected with the alchemist's house. As we enter the steward's home, you may notice that it has a different floor plan, so it's not all cookie cutter. There's a nice crackling fire to keep us warm on a cold evening. There's a cooking pot and harvestable ingredients, a bar area, a dining room table. And he's got a bear head mounted, so he must be a hunter. And then next he has an office area to perform his stewardly duties. Let's head upstairs. Upstairs he has his bedroom area with lots of storage for his things. He's got a double bed in case he has a spouse. And check out that tub with all of its glory. I wish I had one of these directly in my bedroom, although my cat would probably splash water everywhere. And then he can spy on his guests by looking down his loft. Overall, he's got a pretty nice space. Let's see what's next. Okay, as we continue our tour, we head back to the path. And then to the right, we have our next building. This is the guest house. You can invite guests to stay with you for a few days, and this is where they'd stay. Let's go check it out. As you enter your guest house, you have a warm, inviting fire, and it gives you that welcoming feeling that you'd want your guests to have. And then of course you want lots of food and drink for them to enjoy too, and that's provided in the bar area. You have a large tub for them to soak away their stresses, and then you have 4 bedrooms in the guest house that look pretty much identical to this. So now we're just going to cross the living room, and then you'll have another one of those bedrooms just kind of flip-flopped around. And then over here you've got a dining table for them. And then if we head upstairs, you have 2 more of these bedrooms. So they've got a double bed in each of the bedrooms, tapestry, and lots of storage containers. You've got a little library upstairs for them to enjoy. And then here's that last bedroom. So overall, you have an impressive place for your guests to stay. As we head back out, we see a large chapel across the path. And as impressive of a view as the front is, I really want to show you the side view. So we'll just go on this little side path and check out this view of the chapel. I love the windows, the stonework. Look at how tall and imposing that is. That rift and flooring mod looks really good here too. As you enter the gate, you've got a garden area to the right and a little bench, cherry blossom tree. And then to the left, I believe this is Lord Askel's grave. I could be wrong on that. And then you have some spare plots, and when people that are your followers die that work here, you can actually give them a grave. Let's head inside. When you enter the chapel, if you look left, that's the door that you see from the main path by the guest house. Straight ahead is a reading room, and to the right is the main focal point, the Shrine of Mara. It also has that familiar Statue of Mara for everyone that plays the Live Another Life mod. And as we look up, you can see the tremendous ceiling height, and you'll realize later in this video, you're getting married here. But don't get cold feet and leave before it's time. Okay, let's go check out that reading room real quick. So to get to that room, we'll just go straight ahead, and this is kind of like the priest's office too. So he's got a little storage there to the left, a desk with a lockbox on it, and then over here you've got several bookshelves and bookcases to store your books. That's about all for the chapel. Let's see what's next. As we head back out, our next stop is the priest's home. I recruited Arender after helping him solve the people of Dawnstar's nightmare problems. When you arrive, you'll find a quaint home with smoke coming out of the chimney. He also has a chicken and a nest, a cow with some food, and a wood chopping block. Here's the front of the home one more time. Now let's head inside. The priest's home is simplistic as you would expect. It includes a double bed with some end tables, a dresser with a shrine of Mara on top. He has a dining table, some shelves for his food, a butter churn, cooking pot, and a dining room table. Let's head back outside and see what's next. Now that we're back outside, we need to go to the main path. Just look at those trees, fantastic views. Off to the right, we can see the entrance to the main area of the estate, but we're not headed there quite yet. We're going to jump up on this ledge where we have a dragon word wall, but there's no word to learn. It's just for decoration. Now let's jump down and head up the hill to visit our last building on this road. The Golden Brew. And what a cool sign. Here's the front of our tavern. And when we head up the stairs, we have a table for 2 on the right, and a table for 1 on the left. Let's head inside. When we enter the tavern, you have the world's largest deer head mounted above the fireplace, and you can see Embry, the drunkard from Riverwood, making some lunch on the cooking pot. I recruited him by giving him a drink and then talking to him about Hjertesten.
Good to see you, my lord.
Next, you have a dagger dartboard to practice your accuracy. And look at the large bar. This place is very well lit and it gets very busy at night. Here's another cooking pot. You have food and drink for your workers. And on the far side, you have a butter churn and an oven. To the left, you have a button that turns on and off the lights. On looks great, but in my opinion, off looks even more atmospheric. Now we're going to head downstairs. 3 of your workers live in the basement of the tavern. This is the bard's room. And next door, you have your steward's assistant bed to the right, and your barkeeper's bed on the left. They also have a bathtub. Let's head back out. As we leave the tavern, that gate to the left takes you down towards Torben's boat. But we've already seen that, so we're going to go back down to the right, and we're going to check out the main area. And what a view coming into the entrance. That's the main hall in the middle. We'll see that last. And look at your water well. That's convenient for you and your people to have a water source right there. And then this way we have your stable. And here's your horse's dining table. And here's where you can keep them. And then over here I'd call this a little area where you can assemble some horseshoes. You've got some tools, some scissors, a ruler so you can measure twice so you don't make a mistake. And you have an anvil in the corner. Speaking of corners, when we round the corner, you'll notice a little sign. It says, "You better not kill any horses or you'll get to Sovngarde before you want." Very funny, Dovahkiinathay. You also have an abundance of archery targets, bows and arrows, and look at all of those daggers. And those are dynamic, you can take them. There's a little training dummy for you to practice on, and then you've got this beautiful dark elf lamp on your way to the bridge that goes over a little creek to your garden area. And look at that beautiful large tree. You also have like a pool or a tub to go and soak in or do some laundry. Let's go and head inside real quick. And just imagine coming home after a long day of adventuring and enjoying that. Beautiful area. Okay, let's go back over the bridge and we're going to head to the left real quick, where we have a little laundry area by the creek. You've got a little washboard there. Now you just need a little creek water to wash off all of the blood from your clothes. Okay, we're heading back up the path. You can see some training dummies. Those are for your warriors to train on. So remember, you recruit the warriors and then they can come and use those to practice. There's a little bench out front for them and a chair. So yeah, let's go check out the warrior's house. And they've got a pretty nice place to live. Starting by the front door, they have some places to store some weapons, practice their dagger throwing. And then there's a fireplace and a little table where they can play some cards or whatever else they want to do to occupy their spare time when you're not using them. There's a little dining room table, some harvestable ingredients, and then you've got a cooking pot and an oven. Here's a training dummy. Now on this home in the corner, we have a little alchemy lab with some storage. But in the guard's house, which is identical to this home, except for this one area, they instead have a little barrel for mead. So now we don't really have to tour that area because you know what to expect from the guard's house. So let's go ahead and move on upstairs. And upstairs we have 7 beds for your potential warrior followers to stay. They can kind of hang out here at night unless you need them. But yeah, that's about all this place has to offer, so we're going to head on out. And now that we're back outside, we have a really short trip to our next home. It's right next door. And then this is where our farmer lives. And they've certainly got a nice place. You just have to make sure that you don't walk right into the fire immediately when you walk in the door. They also have a little cooking pot over here to prepare their food. There's some food storage along the front door wall. A small dining table. And then you have a couple of these spare bedrooms downstairs. If you are like I am and hired a farmer that has kids, you can actually invite the kids to come live at Hjertesten too. For example, I hired Grosta from the Heartwood Mill right next door after I told her I found her husband dead, and after moving here to work for me, I went back to the dialogue about Hjertesten and invited her son to move in too. Just so I don't miss it, there was also an oven and butter churn over there. There's a fireplace, a dining room table for the family. And then when you head upstairs, she's got a nice little bedroom area, candle lit, and she has plenty of storage containers for her things, and she even has a loft space to look over and make sure her son's behaving. Okay, let's see what we have next. Next, I want to point out some things that are just outside of the farmer's house. They've got their own tanning rack, and then look, they even have some goats. There's another one of those great dark elf lanterns, and down the hill you have some apiaries, and you can see that fence again that we're going to renovate. Let's see what's on the other side of the home. On the other side of the home, you have an area for your chickens. And where there are chickens, there are eggs. And you can open this gate and it closes by itself. And here are your cows. You can milk them once a day for a jug of milk. They have their own food over here. And of course you want to take care of your animals, so they have a little place in case it rains. Right behind the main hall, you've got a boat, and this boat can actually be placed in the water by your steward, or if you push that button on top, you can actually set it yourself. And this can go to Iverstead or to Riften or back here. There's a spare bedroll if you need one, although you have about 1 million beds in this home, and then there's a wood chopping block. And then this next area is super cool. It's like a shrine / garden area. And then right now you can see that I have the Shrine of Mara displayed, but if you want to change that out, you can talk to the blacksmith and he can change it for you for 250 gold. You also have 16 fertile soils back here, and then you can see where those pink flowers are and these odd looking plants are. Those are actually fertile soils that I've planted up. So there are 8 on this side, and then the same thing on this side. It's symmetrical. So where you see those 5 odd plants, those are soils, and where those pink flowers are also soils that you can plant up. You can see a couple of chairs for your followers to come and sit and enjoy the outdoors themselves, and they do sometimes. Next, we have a windmill, and you may remember this from the beginning of the episode where we used that to spot where the hole was for the cave to find the treasure. Inside, it has a working grain mill, so if you need flour or straw or something like that, you have a place to make it. Here's the garden that the farmer tends to. It has 30 fertile soils for you to plant whatever you want. Look at that cool scarecrow. And when you talk to the farmer, you can ask her for some of the harvest and she'll give you some food. Next, we have a gazebo where you can sit and chill on a nice day. There's a cooking pot you can use. a nice table. And then there's Balamond, our blacksmith. It looks like he's taking a break. Let's go talk to him.
Good to see you, my lord. Of course.
Here's where you can change that shrine in the back. We already have Mara out there, but you can also use Dibella or Malakath, RK, Nocturnal, Stendar, Akatosh, Yisgramor, or Talos.
Return anytime. You're quite welcome here.
Thanks, I plan on that. It is my estate after all. Next we have our smithing area. There are a couple of ore veins you have access to. There's your forge, your smelter, your workbench, your grindstone, and your tanning rack. And then look at this cool blacksmith sign. Very neat area for him. Now we're not going to go into the blacksmith's house because it's identical to the farmer's house. So if you want to know what it looks like inside, just go back to the farmer's section. And then this is the guard's home, which is just like the warrior's home we've already seen, except for that one corner. So we're just going to keep going. Now that we've seen where everyone else that works for you lives, let's go see where you live. Check out that dragon skull on the top of the hall. As we head up the stairs, we notice a couple of benches for your workers to hang out. And now let's head inside. When you enter, you'll feel like you're in that grand hall of Hogwarts from Harry Potter. It has soaring ceilings, the world's largest deer head, it beats out the tavern, and the lighting is amazing. This room is filled with dining tables for your many followers to feast. There's an anvil and a tanning rack for your smithing needs. You have several large trophy bases to show off your prowess as a hunter, and huge mead barrels to bring the party to the people. This is much more impressive than any Jarl's longhouse. In the middle of the room, you have a fire pit. I recruited this bard from Ty's mod. And take a look at this throne. We're going to renovate it later in the tour, but I just wanted to show you first. And back this way we have the kitchen. To the left you have some harvestable ingredients, a butter churn, and an oven. And to the right you have your cooking pot. And now in the back you have a display area, but check out that lighting. You have all sorts of things you can display. Here's a trophy base for large animals, mannequins to store your best armor, plaques, racks, and display cases for your weapons. And then check out this area in the middle. It looks like you're planning your next move. And on either sides of that you have these huge bookcases. Across the kitchen from the other side of the home you have an office area. And behind the chair in the office you have a light switch that controls the light in the living room. But I like it the way it is, so I'm not going to change it. You also have a spare bed. And in the back you have two more rooms. To the right you have a single bed. And then around this corner you have a double bed with lots of storage containers to sort your things. And they have a luxurious tub that's candle lit. Across the hall you have another room that's intended to keep your children. That's right, you can adopt up to 6 children for this home. You have 3 bunk beds in the room, and lots of toys like this doll. Look at these wooden swords, and this toy home. And look at this cool ship, a stuffed bear, a helmet. There's your other 2 beds, and look at that cool tapestry with some antelopes. And this tapestry has all sorts of different animals. And then it looks like you have a little closet area to store some things. And then the kids interact with that little training dummy. And then you've got some rocking horses. And then this is my favorite, the cat tapestry. My cat Nala would love that one. Okay, now that we've seen the highlight of this floor, we'll go upstairs. And upstairs we've got some display cases to show off your weapons. And it looks like the lighting is great up here too. And it's open to the main hall, so you've got great views of what everyone else is doing, even while you're eating at your little dining table. Here are some more display cases to show off those cool weapons. And then in this corner of the room over here, you have a small crafting area, a place to store some ingredients, your alchemy lab, your enchanting table, and it looks like you've got a cool book for decoration. Super neat. And then there's your bed. You have a large double bed, plenty of storage containers to store all of your things, and can separate it any way that you want. And then look at this tub area over here with the candle lighting. Oh yes, I think I'd love that in my home. Now that we've seen our home, let's see what renovations we can make with the Steward. The Steward can provide many renovations around the property. Let's start with decorations. The Steward can give you a more imposing throne for 100 septims. Hang a dragon inside of the hall for 200 septims. Or decorate your chandeliers for 300 septims. You can purchase noble furniture from him to upgrade your look. And for all of you that are anti-mannequin, you can replace the mannequins with bookcases for 500 septims, but there's no way to get them back once they're gone. You can add a treehouse for a mere 100 septims for your adopted kids to enjoy. For 3,500 septims, you can fortify your wall from a stone wall like this to a large, imposing wall with a secure gate. This enables you to recruit up to 12 guards. Otherwise, you can't recruit them. And my personal favorite upgrade is that you can change the cave from the backstory into a treasure room for your special items. As you enter your new treasure room, you'll see several displays set up to store your Dragon Priest masks, a couple of Daedric rings, you've got Spellbreaker displayed, and then over here you've got several of your Thieves Guild quest items, and then above that you have spots for 3 Elder Scrolls. There are some mannequins to display all of your best armors. And if you want to relive the day of your large financial windfall, you still have access to Lord Asgeld's treasure deposit. On this bookshelf, you have a place to put your black books, the Ogma Infinium and Dreamstride. Over here, you've got a place to put the Paragons and your Dragon Claws. There's a display for Azura's Star, Mehrunes Razor, and then you've got a cool dragon display up there. There's the Jagged Crown, the Crown of Baron Zaya, and the Ethereal Crown. And then there are all of your Daedric weapons. And then down this hallway you have a few more mannequins for some more cool armor. And then there's some more Thieves Guild displays. So this room comes empty, but you can fill it up with treasures throughout your journey. And then it also adds a little trap door for easy access that's underneath the left side stairs right here. Now that we've acquired our home, know our way around, hired all of our workers and know their capabilities, and adopted our kids, it's time to get married. To start the quest, you'll need to equip the Amulet of Mara and gain favor with who you want to marry, usually by doing their quest or by using the console command that I showed you earlier. Next, go talk to your mate.
Is that an Amulet of Mara? I'm surprised someone like you isn't spoken for.
Interested in me, are you?
Well, yes, why wouldn't I be? Are you interested in me?
Yes, I am.
It's settled then. Brief as life can be in Skyrim, at least we'll have each other.
After this dialogue is done, reinitiate conversation.
You should arrange the ceremony at the Temple of Mara right away. I can't wait.
About the wedding. I was thinking about having the ceremony at the chapel on my property.
Hjertesten's chapel. How enchanting. I couldn't imagine a more perfect setting.
I'm glad you like the idea. I'll talk to the priest and get everything set.
Very well. I'm so excited I can't wait for our wedding. I'll see you later, my love.
Now that we have that settled, we are going back to Hjertesten to talk to the priest that we hired about having the wedding at our chapel. I'd like to perform my wedding at the chapel. Could you send word to Maramal?
A wedding in Hjertesten? How delightful. Maramal is well versed in such matters. I'm sure he would be honored to officiate. Have you made any preparations yet?
I was hoping you would help me with that. Festivities would be held at the hall.
Excellent. Maramal usually spends his time in Riven, but I can send word to him. I'll make sure your wedding will be a joyous occasion.
After figuring out the details, you must save the game. Then reload that saved game. This ensures that the script recognizes that the wedding will take place at your chapel. After this, wait 1 day. Now it's your wedding day. Time to enter the chapel. When you get close enough to the priest, the ceremony will start.
Ah, here's the proud groom now. Let's begin the ceremony.
Look at all of these people that came to support us. We're truly loved.
Do you agree to be bound together in love, now and forever?
I do. Now and forever.
Do you agree to be bound together in love, now and forever?
I do, now and forever.
Under the authority of Mara, the divine of love, I declare this couple to be wed.
You need to speak with your new wife before she leaves the chapel to talk about living here.
Good to see you, my lord.
Good
It's
to
our
see you,
wedding
my
day.
lord.
I feel like all of Skyrim is focused on just the two of us.
My love, I want you to live with me here at Hjertesten Hall.
Our new home. I'll see you there.
Now it's time to head to the main hall for your wedding banquet. The feast will begin at 1 p.m. and last until 12 a.m. During this time, your guest will congratulate you and give you gifts. Looks like someone forgot to tell her this is the banquet and not the bachelor party. Check out this awesome food. And enjoy the festivities with your friends and your beautiful new wife. Time for final thoughts. Some mods allow you to own a large home and have lots of NPCs like Mordham Castle. Some allow you to manage a village like Elsie's Build Your Noble House. Some even let you give your followers their own homes to stay, like Havering Castle. But this mod is its own beast, because not only do you get to manage a village and bring all of your friends, you get to assign them jobs, give them places to live, collect revenue from business, and renovate and get married on your own property. It has an excellent backstory, an optional quest, a hefty price, and small touches that give it lots of charm. This is not your average mod. If you're looking to start a long, epic playthrough and want the full experience and the lifestyle of a lord, highly consider adding this masterpiece. This concludes our tour of Hjertesten Hall. If you enjoyed the show, please click the like button and leave a comment with your thoughts. To see more of my past tours, click the playlist on the top left. To see my future content, click the channel icon on the bottom left to subscribe. And to never miss an episode, click the bell icon to receive notifications of when I post. As always, thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next episode.